so that you don't think that I only eat the vegetables that you see or the stir fries with the different things that I make. There are other things I have to eat also. And I found that my obesity, my yo-yo dieting problem, was not the grocery store's problem, not the restaurant's problem, but my problem, because no one forced it into my mouth. But you know what? We got manipulated big time, and I'm going to show you how you got manipulated. One order of buffalo wings at a main chain restaurant has 6 buffalo wings in it, and there's 4,507 milligrams of salt in it. There should be a label put on that. Consult your physician before you eat it. But that's if you eat all 6 of them. If you go to their website, it says, that's 4 servings. Well, who's going to order one appetizer with 4 servings? You're by yourself or with somebody else. It's 4 servings. So it only says you're only eating 1,000 something milligrams. But you're eating 4,507 milligrams of salt. You can order classic nachos, the small one, at a local restaurant. It's a chain, okay? It's only 970 calories, almost your whole calorie intake for the day, but it's got 2,620 milligrams of salt. Salt is not good for you. If you haven't figured that out, that's why most of you are on blood pressure meds, and that's not even strong enough to get it down. You're being manipulated because that nacho serving is for 2 people. Well, you're going to get the small, regular one. You're going to eat it yourself. There's some really bad stuff going on out there. I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I like some other things that we grew up with. I found a way to make them better. One of the things that I got to share with you is this chemical that is located in our bread. It's called azotocarbonamide. It's going to be written on the screen so you can see that. Because it's such a long word, PubPublic came up with a little cute word for it. Did you ever buy a loaf of bread and it's still fresh 2 weeks later? How the hell can it still be fresh 2 weeks later? Because it's got that product in it. And that product, guess what? Makes it last longer so that they can sell it longer and make more money. Well, I didn't know that, but I read about it and I discovered it. So they got a cute little word to substitute that long word. It's called yoga mat. Yoga mat. The reason why it's substituted to yoga mat is because it's the same ingredient in a yoga mat and rubber sole shoes. That chemical that's in your bread, so you squeeze this, it's nice and soft. That's because your bread's soft. It's made with the same ingredient. It's a man-made chemical to extend the life of food. And so that's why it's called yoga mat. So put some peanut butter and jelly on this. Just kidding. But that's a yoga mat. And that's the name for it. It's unbelievable. I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I buy from Aldi's. There's 5,500 Aldi's worldwide. They sell this one here. It's called Fit and Active. You take one slice of this right here and get the rectangular ones. It's better. And you get the healthy ones. I'm going to tell you about the unhealthy ones that are everywhere in our diet. Okay? You take a little bit of peanut butter like this. And you don't put much on there. By the way, this is homemade peanut butter. Not a good food all the time. But that 90-10, I'm not giving up my peanut butter. If you want, substitute it with almond butter, which is an acquired taste. You can buy it at health food stores or you can make it yourself. You put just a tiny bit of that on there. Now there's different kinds of jellies. Don't get the ones with corn syrup in them. It has cane sugar in this, but you got to have a little bit of sugar. I'm not dead. I still want to live. So you make this peanut butter and jelly roll up by putting a little bit of jelly in here. And you do this. I put a little bit more. I'm a big guy. I'll burn it off later. My wife's got a list of things to do as long as my arm. I'll burn this off with no problems. So you take this and you roll it up. I put the peanut butter first and the jelly second. You can do it the other way. I don't care. You roll it up. And now you've got the new modern peanut butter jelly sandwich. But you have to put this away. You have to put this away before you eat it. You got to get rid of it all because you're going to eat it and go, wow, that was really good. I didn't get that yoga mat in my body. I'm eating this. I'm going to have another one. You don't need another one. Go have some vegetables for the second course. You don't want to overeat. This is a treat. Not a lot of calories and no hydrogenated oil, which I'd like to talk to you about next. If you don't do anything after watching all these videos, you don't do anything at all, just read the label and bring a magnifying glass because they're small on purpose. Did you ever see those little commercials on TV about something, 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 and then the fine print down below that you couldn't read even if you were a speed reader with a magnifying glass? They're trying to hide something from you. The labels that the FDA requires to put on these food products very often tells you whether you should eat it or not. It'll have the salt content. If it's less than 12% salt content of your daily allowed food consumption, it's okay food. If it's above 12%, don't buy it. If it's got hydrogenated oil, this is a man-made food substance. Man-made it, and guess why? So they can extend the food life of a product. And hydrogenated oil, sometimes called trans fat, a little complicated. If you want to know about why it's called trans fat and why it's bad, Google it. Trans fats or hydrogenated oil contributes to bad cholesterol, and it blocks the chemicals in your body to make good stuff, including the anti-inflammatory that we all need in our body. Hydrogenated oil will stop the anti-inflammatory properties in your body. And that's a bad thing because your heart will get inflamed, your heart will get bigger. It's just a bad food product. It probably would be banned if it was discovered today. That's just my opinion from Ed. Humans are the only animals on the planet that destroy their nutritional value of food before they eat it. Can you picture a cat or a dog saying, hey, I'm going to wreck this food by cooking it or microwaving it? Oh, red flags just went up. Red flags just went up. Microwaves. In 1976, microwaves were banned in Russia. You young people don't know this. But in the 70s, when microwave ovens were invented, do you remember what they were called? Go ahead, I'll give you 4 seconds. 3. What was a microwave called before it was called a microwave? 3. It was called a radar range. Think about it. But I will tell you that nothing natural comes in a microwave. But I got one right in back of me. But it's red, and it matches the kitchen. I never use it. Microwave is an unnatural thing. It destroys the food. If you don't believe me, Google it. Eating out at restaurants. Did you ever go grocery shopping on an empty stomach and you're starving and you end up buying all this extra stuff that you wouldn't have bought normally? Well, guess what I learned in the last couple of years? Eat before you go to a restaurant. So you're not ordering everything off the menu. Have some soup, have a smoothie, pull one out of the fridge because you got one pre-made. Have some healthy foods before you go out. And all your friends show up and they say, hey Ed, what are you going to get? Well, maybe I'm going to get something light to eat. And I'm going to share some things with you. I like Italian restaurants because I can get eggplant, order it with no cheese, pay a little extra for extra eggplant, and order a side of sauce. It shows up on a sub or a grinder. You put the sauce on it. You put a little cayenne pepper on it. Eat it with a knife and fork and take half of it home. No cheese. You don't need the cheese. It's not good for you. Another thing I like are Mexican restaurants, but you got to be careful. Let me share with you. Burritos can be made vegetarian and vegan. You go there, they're popping up everywhere. These Mexican restaurants, these little cafeteria style, they're really pretty good. I have to eat out once in a while. I'm on the road. I go away on business all the time. So I'll get a vegetarian burrito. And they'll put all the veggies on there, no cheese, and it comes with a side of guacamole and a side of sour cream. Imagine that. You're going to put something in your body with the word sour in front of it. Duh. So now you're going to eat 2 orders of guacamole instead of the sour cream. You don't have to get sour cream. You won't miss it. Trust me. When you walk away, you'll feel good. By the way, sour cream's got a lot of salt in it too. Here's something I want to share with you. These Mexican restaurants, all restaurants, use aluminum cookware. I did some research on aluminum cookware, and there's a bunch of pros and a bunch of cons on cookware. But I'm going to tell you one fact on aluminum cookware. Aluminum cookware is prohibited in the restaurants in Germany, France, Belgium, Great Britain, Switzerland, Hungary, and Brazil. I don't know who was smart enough over there to say get rid of aluminum cookware, but if you don't believe me, Google it. Mexican restaurants are a safe place for me because I can order fajitas vegetarian And I asked them, they come out sizzling. That sizzle is fat. It's vegetable oil fat. It's okay, but it's being fried. I asked them not to put any oil on the pan. It actually tastes better. Matter of fact, every server that brings it to me goes, wow, that's really pretty good. Usually it's floating in oil. Ask for fajitas, light oil or no oil, and ask them any other vegetable that's in their kitchen to throw in there. Because their fajitas has a menu, it's like it's got 4 or 5 things. Tell them to throw garlic, broccoli, other things in it. But you got to be careful because those little roll-up things that you have probably has hydrogenated oil in it, and that's not a good thing. So you may want to pass on those 3 things and just eat the fajitas. Get 2 orders of the guacamole instead of the sour cream. It comes with a side of rice. Rice is good. I'd eat it. It's there. I'm not going to throw it away. I can use some carbohydrates. I'm 90-10, remember? It comes with beans. They put cheese over the refried beans. Say, on the refried beans, do you have the bowl of beans? And they go, yeah, they're called black beans. Do that. I recently saw in a restaurant potato soup. You go to a restaurant, I already ate, I'm only going to get potato soup. 1 bowl of potato soup has 2,040 milligrams of salt in it at this restaurant. You can look this all up, and I got a great website for you to go to. It's called calorielab.com. Gus is going to put it up for you. And you can research all the stuff that you've been manipulated to put in your body, and you're going out and saying, I'm going to have a half order of them Texas cheese fries. Oh, you're doing yourself a big favor. A half order has 3,460 milligrams of salt. It's all bad juju for you guys. You got to cut down the salt. And if you look at my before and after pictures, I have a really nice salt balanced diet. Don't get me wrong, I miss a little bit of the salt, and I do have it when I want it. Congratulations to Subway restaurants. You can call it a restaurant, a fast food, or whatever. They finally got rid of the yoga mat in their bread. They bake their bread every single day. Why do they need to put a preservative in to last a month? There's no yoga mat, and that's that long word that I told you about earlier, in their bread. You can get all the vegetables on there. You can eat their bread. You can also possibly get their tuna. I researched it a little bit. Their tuna comes out of a can. They put mayo in it. Oh, mayo's got eggs. It's got oil. It's got all that. It's 90-10, guys. You still have to eat. Of course, the next morning when you go potty, you're going to smell it. I got a little personal story I want to share with you. I was taught, instructed by my friend Christina, which you obviously know she's my angel. And one of the first things that she taught me how to eat was buffalo wings. Buffalo wings has to be the highest salt, highest fat content on earth. And I love buffalo wings. And so we were walking into the restaurant. She says to me, she's like this tall. She said to me, what's your favorite item there? I says, my favorite item are buffalo wings. Grills at Cape Canaveral has the best buffalo wings. She goes, it's probably the sauce that's really good. Because the chicken is a chicken. How many can you eat, Fun Eddie? Because that's my nickname. And I said, probably 10 of them. She goes, do you know that 5 chickens have to die for you to eat those 10 buffalo wings? And I looked down at her, and I called her a B word. And I go, I'm sorry, but why'd you have to say that? She goes, it's the truth. But I'm going to show you in this restaurant how to eat buffalo wings the healthy way. I says, great. We go in there, we get an order of fries, we ask for extra crispy. We tell the server, I will not send them back if they're overcooked, because they're worried about over crispy and burnt. They bring it out, but we want a small little cup of the buffalo wing sauce, which has butter in it. But remember the 90-10? I like the buffalo sauce. So I take the fries, I dip them in there, and we shared it together. Then I ordered a veggie burger with no cheese, no mayo, and I asked them to put salsa on it. They put a tablespoon of salsa on it. It's got my condiment on it. Salsa has salt in it, but it's okay. I gotta have some salt. Remember I tell you, salt will always sneak into your body. Veggie burger, salsa, no cheese, lettuce, tomato. Dip your French fry in the sauce, and you'll start becoming healthy. This is a lifestyle change, and I thank you for watching.